Manchester United 2, Everton 2. I am here with Stephen Howson. This was the final game of the pre-season tour. Not the final game of pre-season, but we're here outside Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And it was an interesting game. I almost feel more interesting than the other two games. There was more to kind of go through and dissect. The other two I thought we looked very good. We looked different, we looked sharp, we looked aggressive. I think we saw a little bit of last season tonight. Maybe slightly more than I would have liked. But Steve, give me your initial thoughts and then we'll get into some details after that.
I thought first 20-25, really good.
Yeah.
Some excellent one-touch play, excellent movement ahead of the ball. Thought it was real sharp, very fluid. Saw him Bumo on the left, saw him on the right, saw him down the middle. Bruno, Cunha, basically they were all just cutting about the gaff and doing what they wanted. And that looked really impactful. There was a couple of runs that Bumo did from the right-hand side across, which really confused Everton's defence. Ahmad found himself in space, and I think one of them I might have actually gone to you. I like that.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that sort of almost like a play that they did. And we got some penetration with that. And I was thinking some excellent signs here. I thought we got transitioned on really badly. It was like as soon as Everton got the ball, they had the ball up against our back three. There was almost no protection. And I've seen Ugarte getting a pan in, but Kobbie Mainoo's in there as well. And what I would say is, I think the wing backs have to tuck in there. It is a 4. It's not a 2. Yeah, it's got to be all of you that are getting back. As soon as you lose the ball, you've got to get behind the ball. And I don't think we did that very well. And for that reason, I thought Everton, when they did attack, got very quickly up against our back line. And I thought the initial contact in the back line was aggressive, which might be orders, but we weren't winning that contest. No. We weren't winning that first duel, which meant then it was like a 2v2 foot race, and that's never a good place to be in. You always want to be +1. You always the first D in defending is delay, like, and I don't feel we're doing that. We were going for fucking to get the ball, like, and that's problems.
Yeah.
So I thought that was maybe naive, maybe giddy. We played out like idiots. We just did not play out like we had any level of control. And I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more possession. I thought we've had the opportunity to hold the ball and work a team and suffocate a team with possession, which I thought we've been quite direct with the way that we've played. We've kind of got the ball forward quickly. Now, I don't mind that on a transition. You win the ball, middle third, your own third, move the ball forward before the defence can get set, that's fine. But when you have slow build-up of possession, I really think you should suffocate the opposition with it. And you can't concede if you've got the ball. And I feel like sometimes we give a lot of cheap possession away by trying to force things in the middle third, especially. I don't mind you playing with risk, and I actually would encourage you to play with risk in the final third. But in the middle third, sometimes you don't need it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Against a set defence, especially on a transition, yeah, you got to maybe take a chance a little bit. But like when you're up against a set defence, playing through the middle third, and you're just playing stupid balls, decision making's got to be a bit better. Yeah,
there's quite a lot of that, wasn't there? I felt like one of the things we saw last season was this. When we're trying to play it from the back, it feels like everyone who's on the ball is panicking, and not like making terrible errors, but it never looks composed, or it never looks like people have got time. And I know you don't have time, but the top teams, when they're playing out from the back, even when they don't have time, sort of look like they have time a little bit, and we really struggle with that. I do think that, like you said, there's still a lot of improvements tonight. I want to talk about Mbeumo a bit more, because obviously it's the first time we've seen him. Some of the link-up play with Ahmad, there was that one sort of play down the right-hand side, I think it was Ahmad to Bruno into Mbeumo, and kind of sort of twisted everyone inside out, and I think it ended up with Cunha having that sort of shot on goal at the end. There were some clear signs from the attacking that we were doing that there is talent in those players. Even if sometimes the structure needs a bit of refining and they're still getting used to each other, some of the touches and flicks and hold-up look really good, I thought. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, when they're playing on one, you can't press someone playing on one touch. Yeah. When someone's playing it first time, you can't press that.
No.
And that's a big thing, is like sometimes you take a little bit too many touches, you're a little bit slow moving the ball forward, you're a little bit slow finding it, but at the right time, as we're entering their third, and in their third, we were playing on one touch and we were getting at people, and they played with a little bit of confidence. And first half, we had quite a lot of shots. I think was it only 1-0 or 1-1 at half time?
Yeah. But
we had a lot of shots. It'd be one of them where you play that half again, you might end up 2 or 3 up. So yeah, I think there was a lot of nice signs, but there is obviously things that are still requiring work, and I think the midfield in particular with and without the ball, has to improve.
How much of that is personnel? How much of that is structure? How much of that is tactics? Do you think that these players can fix those solutions? Like you said, it's not necessarily just Ugarte and Main who play better. It's team, cover them better. How much? How do you sort of apportion the fixing of that problem?
Probably about a third each. In all honesty, I think better players, more natural players. Because I think that I've said this so much now. I'm almost boring myself hearing myself say it. I don't think there's natural fits for the system in those players necessarily. I could be wrong. I'm still developing my own understanding of what they're trying to do. I'm trying to develop my own understanding of what they're trying to do. But I also think tactically, the team isn't helping the midfield out. I think we go very expansive with the ball and don't constrict it quickly enough when we lose the ball. And what was the other one? So it's tactics, personnel, or
just structure. The way that they employ those tactics.
That's tactics, isn't it, I guess. So it's probably a little bit of both, a little bit of all three.
Just in terms of other positions, obviously we saw, Lenny Yoro, we saw De Ligt, we saw it was from the start tonight. It was Luke Shaw. One thing I thought in the first half, and then obviously in the second half as well, is, and the manager mentioned it himself, those balls up to the target man, they were winning those and they were sticking. And like you sort of said, we were trying to go from it. Does it worry you that midfield maybe isn't quite athletic enough? That defence with Luke Shaw, obviously, he's not necessarily someone who's going to clatter through the back here. De Ligt's got a bit of that. Yoro's got a bit of that. But do you think the centre backs need to be more suited to, sticking the leg around the front of their defender, being a bit more physical, or do you worry, or do you think that that will just sort itself out?
No, I don't think Luke Shaw's first choice. I think Mazraoui and Martinez will be ahead of him. I'm not sure why we haven't seen Mazraoui, to be honest.
No.
Or when Martinez is back either. I don't know. But I think Luke Shaw as a deputy, I don't really have many dramas about him being probably wherever he is in the pecking order. I think the better players, Mazraoui is an absolute monster on duels. I don't think that'll be a drama.
Cool.
I think it'll be okay. I think once we were doing 1v1 defending, we didn't look too bad, especially in and around the box. It was more the transition defending I just thought was lacking a little bit.
Yeah. Right. Just generally then, obviously, we'll have a full video going through all of our thoughts on the pre-season tour in general. Just from what we've seen so far, how would you rate out of 10 United's sort of time in America?
7.
That's not bad, is it? There weren't many 7s going around last season on any metric for anything.
Did we concede 7? I think we might have conceded 7.
Weirdly, that's the one thing we didn't do. But yeah, well done. I'll take that. I'll take 7. You'd have taken that before we turned up here, wouldn't you?
Probably would have done, yeah.
Because I thought it was going to be disastrous, to be honest. Right, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Steve, as always, of course. Get your thoughts in on the comments on this game tonight. Manchester United 2, Everton 2. We are done in America. We'll see you in a bit.